so that he should just kiss the ring of Donald Trump and do whatever Vladimir.
Well,
guess
no,
what?
I didn't say kiss
That's
the ring,
exactly what you are.
He shouldn't come into the White House and then start telling the person, the country who's funding them, we're fighting this war alone. I mean, hey, Brian, should the U.S. pay Ukraine in perpetuity?
I think a better answer that I would give, or maybe even a better question than that, is I believe that America should back our allies and shouldn't turn on our allies the way that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance did the other day.
They didn't turn on him. They gave him the blatant reality, which is, well, first of all, J.D. Vance said to Zelensky, and if you notice, Zelensky wouldn't address this. He was like, what are you going to do when you run out of men? And Zelensky's response was, have you been to Ukraine? Because nobody seems to want to address that issue. And then Zelensky said to Trump, we've been fighting this war alone. And Trump immediately called him out and said, no, you haven't. We've been funding you since day one. That's why people are pissed off at Zelensky.
No, I disagree with you. First of all, I think the reason why people are pissed off because many in the Republican Party refuse to, first of all, call out that Putin is the one that started this war. Donald Trump is the guy that said Ukraine started it. And when Donald Trump calls Zelensky a dictator, sadly, a lot of MAGA buffoons out there echo what he has said. There are people in this country that want Zelensky to lose and want Putin to win. So we can go.
That doesn't matter. I mean,
no, actually, no. Whoa. Hold on a second. Wait, David, wait. You're telling me that the president of the United States, not willing to answer who he wants to win this war, quote, doesn't matter?
Let me explain.
That doesn't matter? Come on.
I'll explain because Democrats want Trump to just go out there and just say, Putin's evil, he's bad, he's terrible. Well, what does that accomplish when you have to negotiate?
I will tell you what it accomplishes. I will answer your question and I will tell you what it accomplishes. It shows us that we will back our allies and we will call a spade, and we won't bow down.
And then it also means we won't negotiate with Russia.
That is
we can back our allies forever.
There is a difference between negotiating and kissing the ring. It's not negotiating when you say that Ukraine started the war and when you say that Zelensky is a dictator. You call Putin for what he is.
Negotiating when you recognize that Zelensky's not the one with any power at the negotiating table. He doesn't get to dictate what happens, and he seems to so
that he should just kiss the ring of Donald Trump and do whatever Vladimir. Well, guess what? That's exactly what you are.
He shouldn't come into the White House and then start telling the person, the country who's funding them, we're fighting this war alone. I mean, what the hell?
Do you understand?
And that's why people.
Do you understand?
The war alone.
Excuse me.
Do you agree with that?
Okay. How many other boots are in the ground with countries all over the world? How many other boots are how many other soldiers from boots from other countries do they have?
Because they don't want to go to war with Russia. But apparently, Democrats here want.
Stop. That is what he was referencing. They have their own soldiers that are fighting the war. Yes, they've had assistance financially and with weaponry from other countries. But you don't understand the context, David. Now, I'm up against the clock. You can call again tomorrow. But when he said we're fighting this war alone, he was talking about boots that are on the ground. He has his own soldiers fighting this war. He doesn't have soldiers from other countries. That's what he was referring to. There's a way to negotiate without kissing the ring of an evil, murderous dictator and kissing the ring of an orange orangutan clown. That was an embarrassing performance, and that's what it was by J.D. Vance and Donald Trump. And I am amazed that you are not willing to admit that. But I appreciate the call, David. Thank you, as always.